This is KGW News at 5.
Toward the end zone. It is. Seattle's going to the Super Bowl.
An incredible comeback.
It's as improbable of a win as I've ever witnessed. When the game was on the line and you had to start making some plays, Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, they made them.
For the second year in a row, the Seahawks are headed to the biggest game, the Super Bowl. No doubt the 12s have a big night of celebrating to do tonight.
We got better as the game went on. Saved the best for last.
What a stunning win, a comeback that only the truest Seahawks fans saw coming. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nina Melhoff. Let's take one more look at the moment the Seahawks clinched a spot in the Super Bowl.
Wilson toward the end zone. It is caught. Seattle's going to the Super Bowl.
We'll have live team coverage of the Seahawks' journey to the Super Bowl just 2 weeks from today right here on KGW. Art Edwards will have all the highlights from this comeback win, but we start with Erica Hartquist live at On Deck Sports Bar in the Pearl with some very happy fans. Erica.
Oh boy, and how I can't even tell you how excited and thrilled people were. They actually here at On Deck Sports Bar, when the Seahawks pulled it off in the fourth quarter and won the game, fans here went crazy. On Deck Sports Bar was standing room only, all eyes on the TVs. There were Packers fans on one side of the bar, and here on the other were Seahawks fans, though here basically we saw more Seahawks fans. They outnumbered the Packers fans for sure.
This is awesome. It's unreal. I cannot believe, we got a great team, and Packers are a great team to play against, but this is the best game ever, hands down. We got to the Super Bowl twice in a row. No team has done this in forever.
I'm in total shock right now. I am.
Today's game is probably the most exciting football game I've ever seen in my life. So to go back to the Super Bowl,
He was angry for the past 3 hours.
I was angry. I was like, but what did I say? I told him, I said, it's not over. It is not over.
It was insane. It was insane. It was a little subdued. We're getting our tweets and our messages from CenturyLink Field. Sounds like it might have been a little subdued there for a little while too, till things started turning around. And then I think about simultaneously, it started getting crazy here, probably about the same time it was getting crazy in the stadium.
Back out here live now, and now many of those Seahawks fans are waiting to see who the Seahawks will play in the Super Bowl, the Colts or the Patriots. And right now, New England is up by 7. Back to you, Nina.
Erica, thanks. And it was a rough game for the first 50 or so minutes. The Hawks didn't even score until the third quarter, but there were a lot of great plays to pull out the win in overtime. KGW's Art Edwards joins us with a look back at that incredible win.
You know, Nina, the Packers really outplayed the Seahawks, like you said, for about 50 minutes of the game. But in crunch time, Seattle was able to come through with that shocking victory. The Seahawks came back from a 16-0 third quarter deficit. An onside kick late in the game played a huge part.
Good kick up into the air. It is loose and recovered by Seattle.
Well, Chris Matthews is the guy who made the recovery to give the Seahawks the ball late in the fourth quarter, and that set up beast mode. Marshawn Lynch gets the ball. He rumbles 24 yards for the touchdown, and the fans go absolutely wild. Lynch, he just celebrates with a simple handshake. Now, Green Bay was able to kick a field goal right at the end of the regulation part of the game to tie it up at 22. Seattle got the ball for the first time in the overtime. Russell Wilson back to pass. He connects with Jermaine Kearse, 35 yards for the winning touchdown, 28-22. Seattle is the first defending champion to make the Super Bowl in 10 years. Later on in sports, I'll have some reaction to this incredible game from Seattle and also from Green Bay. Nina?
Yeah, another big game on TV right now, and boy, there was not much hope going in through that whole game, but wow, amazing win. Art, thanks. And you can watch the Seahawks in the Super Bowl right here on KGW on Sunday, February 1st. That game starts at 3:30. In other news locally, the stepfather of one of the Centennial High School teens hit while in a crosswalk says his daughter has a long road of healing ahead. And tonight, her family is with her at Dornbecker Children's Hospital. And that's where Wayne Haverly joins us live tonight with their story. Wayne.
Well, tonight, 14-year-old Sarah Hollenbach is still in a lot of pain. She is dealing with a lot of very serious injuries right now. And I talked to her stepfather, and he's actually pretty angry right now because he says those two accidents that happened this week, they could have been prevented. This picture of Sarah Hollenbach and Alec Kovalenk was taken not long before Thursday's accident when they and one other girl were hit by a car at this crosswalk right in front of Centennial High School. Here they are in the hospital after the accident. You can see the pain on Sarah's face.
She had a concussion from it all, and then a skull fracture, a fractured pelvis, and a fractured knee.
Sarah's stepfather says she doesn't remember being hit, only waking up to what she thought was a nightmare.
Thought it was a dream. She said she saw them being covered up with blankets and thought that they were killed. And at that point, she kind of lost consciousness again.
Just one day before the girls' accident, a freshman boy was hit and seriously hurt at the same crosswalk. All 4 teens are expected to recover.
You know, it was just a matter of time before something like this happened.
Mark and Tammy Cochran say 2 years ago, they asked Gresham city leaders to install crosswalk safety beacons after their car was rear-ended while stopping for kids at the same intersection.
What I got told was that there was other crosswalks that were a higher priority.
State transportation records show there was another injury accident at that same crosswalk just 3 months ago. On Friday, the city put guards at the crosswalk during school hours and portable reader boards warning drivers.
That's all fine and well, but it's like a Band-Aid over a severed limb. You know, it's just a quick fix to quell people's minds.
The city does plan to install a permanent flashing beacon at the crosswalk by March, not soon enough for the family of this injured teen. Well, Sarah's family thought that she was going to get out of the hospital today, but I'm told by her mother that they just found out that the doctors are not going to let her go home. She's still dealing with a lot of pain from those injuries, and at this point, they don't know when she'll be going home, but we wish her the very, very best. Back to you, Nina.
Definitely, Wayne. Thank you so much. Well, we're getting a much closer look at Saturday's massive pileup involving more than 20 semi-trucks and other vehicles. Everyone survived, including this man whose frightening photo, you see his face there, smooshed in his car between 2 semis. That picture is making the rounds on the internet, and our sister station in Boise says it is hard to believe, but he walked away with just scratches. The pileup happened early yesterday morning, 12 miles east of Baker City when it was icy. A big stretch of I-84 was closed for much of the day. 3 different people had a gun pulled on them early this morning in a string of frightening robberies. Luckily, no one was hurt. It all started around 7:30 this morning on 19th and Killingsworth. Then less than an hour later, another robbery was called in on Southeast 135th and a third on Southeast 139th. The 3 suspects were using a Crown Victoria as their getaway car and robbing people at gunpoint. Police spotted the car and chased them. They had to use spike strips to stop it and arrest the 3 suspects. Their names have not been released yet. Hundreds of anti-abortion activists are finishing up a rally in March through downtown Portland right now.
I just don't think it's right, and I don't think there's very many differences between someone who's a fetus inside of a tummy and someone who's outside of a tummy.
2 to 3 blocks at a time were shut down by these protesters holding pro-life balloons and signs between Pioneer Square and the waterfront. This Thursday marks the 42nd anniversary of the historic Supreme Court decision Roe v. Wade, making abortion a fundamental right under the Constitution. Oregon Right to Life organized today's rally, partnering with religious organizations and other pro-life groups. A river rescue dog that lost an eye last year after being hit by an animal control officer has died. Diogi Starr was recently diagnosed with lymphoma. A Washington County animal control officer was accused of abuse after hitting Diogi in the face and causing her to lose her right eye last year. He was cleared of all charges. The dog's owner has been working to get state-certified training for all county animal enforcement officers in Oregon. A memorial service and Memorial River Run are being planned to honor DOG. Next at 5, on the run from the law but finally caught, where police finally tracked down the 2 teens accused of a crime spree and nicknamed Bonnie and Clyde. Plus, shots fired near the vice president's home. What we're learning tonight about the investigation into a late-night shooting. Rod?
Radar filled up with scattered but heavy showers. Check out this one where you see the red. Here's Portland. Here's I-84. It's just working toward Gresham and Troutdale. Small hail, probably, maybe some isolated lightning. It is quiet to our west. Will your Martin Luther King Day be nice and dry?
I told you, man, at halftime, I said, be patient. It's coming. The time is coming.
The Seahawks' time is now. They are headed to the Super Bowl. Congratulations, 12th man. We'll have more highlights and post-game interviews from their stunning upset coming up. They're being called the teen version of Bonnie and Clyde, and now the hunt for them is over after a multi-state crime spree. The two Kentucky teens were found this morning while sleeping in a stolen truck in Florida. 18-year-old Dalton Hayes and his 13-year-old girlfriend are accused of stealing trucks and using stolen checks. The two ran away from their families earlier this month. The Secret Service and the FBI are investigating shots fired near the vice president's Delaware home. Joe Biden and his wife were not home at the time. The shots were reported last night at around 8:30. Investigators haven't found any damage to the Biden home or any other homes in that area. Secret Service agents heard the shots, and one agent saw a car speeding away from the scene. Both the Bidens and President Obama have been briefed on the incident. In the Philippines, massive crowds of people are celebrating Pope Francis's final day in the capital of Manila. This is said to have been the largest crowd in papal history. According to Manila city officials and the Vatican, a record 6 million people attended Pope Francis's Mass. It was part of a week-long visit, and during the Mass, the Pope urged people to, quote, work together in building a world of justice, integrity, and peace. A reminder, if you're a TriMet user, there are some adjustments for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday tomorrow. Some bus lines will run on Saturday schedules, and others will not run in observance of the holiday. You can always check TriMet.org for details, but a lot of other TriMet bus lines, MAX and the West Commuter Rail, will run on regular weekday schedules. TriMet says it actually carries more riders on this holiday than any other. That's why they're providing more service than they do on other holidays. And boy, we had such a nice glimpse of sunshine today amongst the rain showers.
That means we're in desperate mode. Hey, some sun!
I saw it.
All right, we begin with a beautiful double rainbow picture. Take a look at this. This was in northeast Portland at 2 o'clock.
Well, what an amazing game in Seattle today. The Seahawks looked like they were really out of it against the Packers today, but somehow they managed to come through. You know what? The Packers really controlled this game early, really through the first 50 minutes. In the first quarter of the game, Aaron Rodgers, he's dancing around in the pocket. He finds Randall Cobb in the back of the end zone for the score. The Packers went up 16-0 before the Seahawks really even showed some signs of life on offense. But here's a play that got them going. A trick play, the fake field goal. The holder, John Ryan, he floats the pass to Gary Gilliam, a rookie lineman. The Seahawks' first score of the game, 16-7 Packers. In the fourth, it got wild. Russell Wilson scores right there. Just over 2 minutes left in the ball game, and they were really showing that they might have something going. Then, right after that, the onside kick. Seattle, great kick. Seattle gets the ball. Chris Matthews made the recovery, and that gave Seattle a real chance in this one. They get the ball. Marshawn Lynch shows some beast mode form. From 24 yards out, he scores. The Seattle Seahawks were able to add the two-point conversion, so they took a three-point lead. You know, the fans went crazy. Marshawn Lynch says, let's just shake hands on this one. Let's keep it going. Well, they were able to get it into overtime. Here it is right here, the play of the game. Russell Wilson hadn't played great most of the game, but 35 yards to Jermaine Kearse for the winning score in this ball game. Seattle wins it 28-22. They go to the Super Bowl.
These guys on this team are unbelievable, man. The fight, the relentless fight over and over again. The people used to doubt, man. I'm just excited to be on this team. I'm excited to play with the guys. I mean, 4 minutes left in the game, 3 minutes, 4 interceptions, and just keep playing. And the guys just keep believing in me, man. You gotta give credit to the Packers. They had an unbelievable season, and it's just honored, man. Just honored, just blessed to be on this team.
Boy, that was some amazing ball game. They're waiting for the winner of the Indianapolis New England game to find out who they'll play in the Super Bowl. The Portland Trailblazers, got to talk about them a little bit. You know.